When it comes to the future of intelligent robots, the first question people often ask is how many jobs will they make disappear? Whatever the answer, the second question is likely to be how can I make sure that my job is not among them? In a study published in Science Robotics, a team of roboticists from EPFL and economists from the University of Lausanne offers answers to both questions by combining the scientific and technical literature on robotic abilities with employment and wage statistics. They have developed a method to calculate which of the currently existing jobs are more at risk of being performed by machines in the near future. Additionally, they have devised a method for suggesting career transitions to jobs that are less at risk and require the smallest retraining efforts. The lead researcher, Professor Floriano, says there are several studies predicting how many jobs will be automated by robots, but they all focus on software robots such as speech and image recognition, financial robo-advisors, chatbots, and so forth. Furthermore, those predictions wildly oscillate depending on how job requirements and software abilities are assessed. Here we consider not only artificial intelligence software but also real intelligent robots that perform physical work, and we developed a method for a systematic comparison of human and robotic abilities used in hundreds of jobs. The key innovation of the study is a new mapping of robot capabilities onto job requirements. The team looked into the European H2020 Robotic Multi-Annual Roadmap (MAR), a strategy document by the European Commission that is periodically revised by robotics experts. The MAR describes dozens of abilities that are required from a current robot or may be required by future ones, ranging organized in categories such as manipulation, perception, sensing, and interaction with humans. The researchers went through research papers, patents, and descriptions of robotic products to assess the maturity level of robotic abilities, using a well-known scale for measuring the level of technology development. Technology Readiness Level (TRL) for human abilities. They relied on the ONET database, a widely used resource database on the US job market that classifies approximately 1,000 occupations and breaks down the skills and knowledge that are most crucial for each of them. After selectively matching the human abilities from the ONET list to robotic abilities from the MAR document, the team could calculate how likely each existing job occupation is to be performed by a robot. Say for example that a job requires a human to work at millimeter level precision of movements. Robots are very good at that, and the TRL of corresponding ability is thus the highest. If a job requires enough such skills, it will be more likely to be automated than one that requires abilities such as critical thinking or creativity. The result is a ranking of the 1,000 jobs, with physicists being the ones who have the lowest risk of being replaced by a machine, and slaughterers and meat packers who face the highest risk. In general, jobs in food processing, building and maintenance, construction and extraction appear to have the highest risk. Professor Laliv, who co-led the study, says the key challenge for society today is how to become resilient against automation. Our work provides detailed career advice for workers who face high risks of automation, which allows them to take on more secure jobs while reusing many of the skills acquired on the old job. Through this advice, governments can support society in becoming more resilient against automation. The authors then created a method to find for any given job alternative jobs that have a significantly lower automation risk and are reasonably close to the original one in terms of the abilities and knowledge they require, thus keeping the retraining effort minimal and making the career transition feasible. To test how that method would perform in real life, they used data from the US workforce and simulated thousands of career moves based on the algorithm's suggestions, finding that it would indeed allow workers in the occupations with the highest risk to shift towards medium risk occupations while undergoing a relatively low retraining effort. The method could be used by governments to measure how many workers could face automation risks and adjust retraining policies, by companies to assess the costs of increasing automation, by robotics manufacturers to better tailor their products to the market needs, and by the public to identify the easiest route to reposition themselves on the job market. Finally, the authors translated the new methods and data into an algorithm that predicts the risk of automation for hundreds of jobs and suggests resilient career transitions at minimal retraining effort, which can be publicly accessed. Link provided in the description if you want to check out the risk about your profession. Speaking of robotics, in a global first, scientists have demonstrated that molecular robots are able to accomplish cargo delivery by employing a strategy of swarming, achieving a transport efficiency 5 times greater than that of single robots. Swarm robotics is a new discipline inspired by the cooperative behavior of living organisms that focuses on the fabrication of robots and their utilization in swarms to accomplish complex tasks. A swarm is an orderly collective behavior of multiple individuals. Macro-scale swarm robots have been developed and employed for a variety of applications, such as transporting and accumulating cargo, forming shapes, and building complex structures. A team of researchers led by Dr. Akhtar and Associate Professor Kakugo from the Faculty of Science at Hokkaido University has succeeded in developing the world's first working micro-sized machines, utilizing the advantages of swarming. A swarm of cooperating robots gains a number of characteristics that are not found in individual robots. They can divide a workload, respond to risks, and even create complex structures in response to changes in the environment. Micro-robots and machines at the micro and nano scale have very few practical applications due to their size. If they could cooperate in swarms, their potential uses would increase massively. The team constructed about 5 million single molecular machines. These machines were composed of 2 biological components: microtubules linked to DNA, which allowed them to swarm, and kinesin, which were actuators capable of transporting the microtubules. The DNA was combined with a light-sensitive compound called azobenzene that functioned as a sensor, allowing for control of swarming. When exposed to visible light, changes in the structure of azobenzene caused the DNA to form double strands and led to the microtubules forming swarms. Exposure to UV light reversed this process. The cargo used in the experiments consisted of polystyrene beads of diameters ranging from micrometers to tens of micrometers. These beads were treated with azobenzene-linked DNA. Thus, the cargo was loaded when exposed to visible light and unloaded when exposed to UV light. However, the DNA and azobenzene used in the molecular machines and the cargo were different, so swarming could be controlled independently of cargo loading. Single machines are able to load and transport polystyrene beads up to 3 micrometers in diameter, whereas swarms of machines could transport cargo as large as 30 micrometers in diameter. Furthermore, a comparison of transport distance and transport volume showed that the swarms were up to 5 times more efficient at transport compared to the single machines. By demonstrating that molecular machines can be designed to swarm and cooperate to transport cargo with high efficiency, this study has laid the groundwork for the application of micro-robots to various fields. In the near future, we expect to see micro-robot swarms used in drug delivery, contaminant collection, molecular power generation devices, and micro-detection devices, says Kakugo. What are your thoughts on the future of jobs and intelligent robots? Do they pose a significant threat to many professions? And what can be done to counter this and swarm robotics? Do let us know in the comments.